Hello, and welcome to another RANGROO cast, me, RANGROO. Today we are doing another replay review. Pretty much how it works is that this is the match that I played, as you can see, and instead of being it from more of a general perspective, I'm going to be casting this match from more of my point of view and Val's point of view as well. So, well, first introduce, it's me and Val. We are both playing Red 4. I think I'm playing a general Red 4 deck, while I believe Val is doing an Eastern Bloc deck. I think, I don't know, we'll double check. And then we got Faust and Priad. Now, one of them was playing, or Faust was playing a Blue Dragons deck, while Priad was playing a plain old United States of America. So let's skip things up and get things going. So we're going to be deploying our units. Now, my strategy for this map was to just completely book it to Charlie, try to neutralize his two-pointer over here, don't worry about Bravo, and hopefully Val would be able to defend the left-hand side and just kind of keep him at bay on the left so I could move through and hit up Charlie. So, array we go, and that Red Val definitely playing in the Eastern Bloc check, got Moderna. Some infantry guys to try and capture the town. For me, I was General Red Force, so I have a real mixed bag of everything. BMP-3s, I got 2 TA-TUs, a lot of Moskutans and BMP runs, and some Shilkers as AA support. And we've also got some Type 63s, going to be doing some forward reconnaissance. On the left hand side, Val tries to move his range echo, try to capture the town. Landing his Mi-25s. Again, the special ones out and get a lot of infantry into that area to try to stall them off, but the good old LSTR-90s doing a great job, and they just completely capture Bravo because we don't really send anything in yet, but you let them completely cap it. And as you can see, my big force is moving through Delta. My plan was to go around the bottom or I went through this side and I sent some units down the bottom side because I think this would be a little bit more heavily defended. But as you can see, there's only a few Hachinanasikis, a K1 and a gun tank. Nothing really too heavy, which is exactly what I wanted, because no one really pays attention to the bottom side, it's usually a fight up top. And Val, he is going to be trying to play for this middle forest here. Very important forest to hold, because if he can keep control of it, he can cut off Bravo from the top sectors, and usually has a good defensive point to defend the top sectors. It's just in a very nice position, and he does have a lot of infantry in his top hand side, managing to keep it neutralized. And honestly, the early game went out extremely well, and I'm moving my force across the open field. We spot the K1, managed to get the fire computer reset debuff on it, which is always quite useful. Yeah, I'm a little bit slower with my push because I did think there was a few more units up here, so I unload Moskutans, get the BMPs out. And I do have a T-80U over here just to try and clear through this right-hand side with some infantry support. I also put a Li Jian down here because just in case they were to rush, I could get a quick transport to get Li Jians and hopefully stall them for a little bit. And by now they know that I am pushing big into Charlie. Got T-80U pressing over. There's only recon infantry up here. And moving through. Gonna kill the K1 with the T-80U and that gun tank as well. It's gonna go down to the BMP run. And then I start moving my forces into his forest, into Charlie, and then through here. Now up top, let's take a look at Val's side. You know, he's starting to get pushed out of Echo and small units in his forest. Now this is the deadly thing he had went wrong. Faust was very smart, and he knew that I was pushing all here. So what he does, he cuts off my supply lines, he moves his units from Bravo and set up a defensive line from Bravo all the way to Delta, stopping me from bringing up units. I eventually spot this after losing a few vehicles, and I'm like, oh crap, my units up front are now cut off, there's no reinforcements to back him up, I gotta try and clear this out. Val's also doing the same thing. Going to send some reinforcements into this area, but Val was also trying to defend Foxtrot because it's starting to get hit pretty hard. We've got HI Abrams, and even though we're playing Red 4, Blue 4 does have the super heavy tank advantage on this map. They do have the Chimera Shiki. That wasn't the Chimera, it was just a yeah, it's just a truck APC thing. I forgot the proper name of it. So, what I was saying, pretty much my best tankers I can get is TA2Us, but I can get a lot of TA2Us, and Val could get Modernas, but they could get the Karasikis and A2 Abrams, which means they're going to win in tank battles, and of course tank battles are a very important part of the game right now. So I'm managing to hold onto Charlie, got the TA2 in a nice position to cover this open field, so they are sending infantry through the forest, but I got more Chutans, so they're going to easily clear that up. I'm starting to send some Spetsnaz GRU and a T-64 to hopefully mop up Delta. And what the really good thing that they did in Delta was they knocked out the CV, because if we had the CV still alive in here, we'd be gaining a very nice +3, but right now we're only gaining a +1, and they could easily negate that by either Captain Bravo or Echo. Now this is where the Karasikis does pop, and got a Peace Pheasant, going to be trying to kill my TA2, but I do keep it hidden. And this Caillou will be the bloody bane of my existence, because in a straight up fight it's going to win. It's at a closer range, so it's going to do a lot more damage than mine, and it shoots a lot faster with its cannon. Now Peace Pheasant getting the Afghanskis. I do send a MiG-25 to try and intercept, but it does manage to escape. And in Delta, all there really is right now is very weakened infantry. Yeah, I'm moving up my unit check because I'm still thinking as an entire platoon's worth in Delta. I want to get some more reinforcements. And there's a Cairo popping up. I'm moving back my TA2s because I don't want to engage at the Maltusians and Malta Stragglers are pretty much my defense. I want them to try and get very close in the forest so my infantry can mop them up. They do use rocket artillery, a 75 M55R, which is a pretty cheap South Korean piece. I mean, it looks like a bunch of pig pens on top of a truck, or cages. But yeah, the rocket artillery does do a good job stunning up my units. I don't want to be bringing out that TA2U. And they are slowly moving through. You've got a K1A1, which is also extremely scary, so I'm just moving backpedaling my TA2Us ASAP. The Maltusians, even though these are the cheap ones, they don't have good rocket launchers. And with infantry support, Faust is pushing me back. We've got a Peace Pheasant coming up, trying to spot some more units. But finally, we managed to recapture Delta. Got T-72 CV in there because I wanted to be just extra sure, bringing up some reinforcements to try and defend it. But now I'm really needing to start bringing up reinforcements into Charlie because I'm getting pushed back quite a bit. It's nothing really too much that I can do. I got 2 TA2Us still alive. But they are just pretty much been hiding this entire match, and they're also pretty low on fuel, which is quite scary. And Falstaff has the CV on Charlie, and having that CV on Charlie is extremely important, because even though I'm putting pressure on here, they still have the points for this sector. Now if we take another look back up top, Val is losing Foxtrot. He is getting pushed back. I'm going to be honest, I didn't help him at all up top because I really just wanted to make his bottom push work. So he's not getting any support from me. So it is right, he is getting pushed back. It's just him on his lonesome. And because we lose Foxtrot, if they can get CVs into here and here, they're going to be at a point advantage. So really it's going to come down to trying to capture Charlie. Got the TA2U doing something, just covering this middle area, and I got the infantry moving up, trying to get the ATU. And they're going to be unloading infantry C into Bravo. They do have a CV and Echo, so that is going to bring them to a very nice +2. And Val is pretty much just playing the forest game in this midland forest with Maltusians going at it, and you can never go wrong with Maltusians. And now I'm starting to bring up reinforcements. Got a lot of Afghanskis just to try and filter through his forest. I'm getting up infantry because I want to get infantry into this town. Because my thought was, I'm probably not going to be able to push all the way up here, but this town is a great defensible location. So let's try to get as much stuff out in it as possible and just keep the T-80s back to cover the open field. Because at a long range engagement, the T-80Us do have ATGMs, which definitely help out. We do have a CV in Charlie, just trying to neutralise the point, give by us some time. You know, it's a pretty obvious location, and as I move through this bottom hand area, I did have some BMP-1 stations just try to cover the flanks, but they're starting to push through. I mean, those 2 heavy tanks, super heavies, I can't do anything about them because the ATUs are going to lose in a fight, and I can't really afford to lose the ATUs because they're the only tanks I have up. Yeah, I'm bringing up some PTC 89s, a very decent tank destroyer. I'm bringing up some Guska M as well. We've got rocket artillery to stun up my forces. Forcing me to move back here 18. That probably gave them the idea it was in this corner. And they are moving up quite heavily. They got some shoes against my Malchutians. And my Malchutians just don't have what it takes to fight them with AT support. And there's my TATU just getting out of dodge. I do not want that thing to be in that forest when those tanks start pumping up. And he's moving the K1A1 around the flank, trying to get up here, but the ATU is going to be able to reverse all the way out in a rolling retreat, as the second one does give cover and fire. I got some Urals to try and resupply them. But as you can see, Faust and Priya are a nice +2. I think a MiG-27 does manage to kill the K1A1, which was definitely a good trade. That's one of the super heavy tanks to start with. But the Caillou was still there in this forest. As you can see, I can't really engage it all that effectively because it does keep it back, and he has infantry covering it as well. And from this area here, he can stop my reinforcements. As they come down this road, you can get some very easy shots. I do bring up an Mi-24W, which is, honestly, I think this is probably the best hind in game for your bang for your buck. Those Kokens do they have like 20 AP, which is decent, nothing amazing. But it's the only attack helicopter I got against Caillou, and there's nothing really too much in terms of AA. Yeah, he's a ninja, but that really is. They do bring a longbow around the flank, and Val, let's take a look at Val out top. He is just defending his forest. Malchutians going out there with a rifleman, but the enemy for small support, they are going to be pushing through. So an AV Harrier going for an ATGM run. I mean, he really does try to use quite a few airplanes to kill the ATUs, but they do manage to stay alive. Tunguska Ram, I'm very glad I moved it over here, because I do manage to snipe the longbow, a little bit of a morale boost for me. Shooting those longbows down are very satisfying. F117 Nighthawk, trying to Nighthawk this area here, I don't know why. I think my Tunguska was in this spot, roughly in this spot before. I think it's just maybe a CV snipe, trying to get CV, I don't know. It was a very confusing bombing run. Now my infantry is still holding in this town, but they have taken quite some heavy casualties. And bringing up reinforcements is a little bit hard because the Caillou can just shoot them as they come up. I mean, he did a very good job this match, Faust, to pretty much cut off my supplies. He did it in the early game, over here in Bravo Delta, so now he's doing it now in Charlie, so I can't really bring anything up. Because the Caillou is the thing stopping me. And yes, I could probably use 2 TATUs to fight one Caillou, but that engagement would have been very risky. Because he could always just move it back and lose line of sight. And I can't chase after it because infantry is screening it. And I don't know what's in this forest still here. So I'm just keeping my ATUs back and hidden. They're not really doing too much. It's kind of the same, they're not helping with the support. And as you see, my infantry just getting rickety wrecked. And they're already at +3, you know who's going to win this match. And Vows is holding it up top, Malchutians is flooding the forest, but also Priya moving along the top hand side with some riflemen. And they are just encroaching on our position. I got some BMP3s, hopefully engaged in this open field. And also some more stragglies to cover this forest, as the Rangers try and move up. And now he's got 2 Chimera Cities, which definitely makes my life a look at how I do move up with ATUs, trying to engage both of them. But I do lose one. The MiG-27 tries to get its Caillou, but it does get shot down and almost, I never realised, it almost hit the other Caillou in its death. So I just move back the other ATU, I do a strike rocket artillery onto my Shulkers. And at this point, I surrender. And then Val surrenders afterwards, but we don't actually see the point screen because, yeah, I surrendered first. But if I remember roughly, I was in the positive. I had 2,000 odd points to 1,000 roughly, and I think Val was 1,000 to 2,000 in terms of point kills. But overall, it was a really good match, you know, playing against number 2 and Priyad in a pretty fun 2v2. Personally, I was very happy with my early on push. I think attacking Charlie was a very smart move because no one really bothers defending these bottom points. Everyone always gets so hamstrung on the center and Bravo, but if you could do an actual successful push and completely cut off Charlie, even if you don't hold it for the entirety of the match and you manage to put CV in there, that's going to be a good amount of points to buff you up so you can defend for the rest of it. You know, it's quite a long raid driving all the way from Goth into Charlie, and you want to make sure that opponents don't really get any nasty ATGMs around in Bravo to shoot your stuff as you come in. That's why I was having to take the extra long round, which is also stopping my reinforcements. Foul, I think he did a very good job up top by himself. He was just pushed out slowly but surely. The Americans using a lot of good fire support vehicles and artillery and planes to rout him out. It also was a match I was trying to experiment with the General Redfall deck. I really enjoy playing with it because it's an awful lot of fun. Because you get all the cool units I like BMP3s and ATUs and Mi-24, the good Mi-24s, Tungus Grems, you name it. But as you can see in that match, the major problem is that you can't deal with the super heavies, and right now in Wargame it's all about the super heavies. Yes, the T-ATU is still a pretty fantastic tank. It's, you know, the status quo tank of airland battle, but against these newer MBTs from the 90s, the ATU just doesn't really fare up all that round a run-on-one engagement. But yeah, it was a really fun match. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a learning experience for me and Val. And hopefully I can perfect this strategy into attacking into Charlie. But I'm going to wrap it up at that. This has been another RANGROO cast. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as usual, please just take it easy.